Happy birthday to me.
To you.
Happy birthday to me.
Boo,
Almost,
boo,
that
boo,
is. Yeah.
boo. Happy
Tomorrow.
birthday, handsome, beautiful, talented, incredibly sophisticated, and wickedly smart Toad. Did I mention handsome? Happy birthday
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's fine.
to you.
Thank you
Hey,
very
everybody
much.
out there, it is Tone's birthday. We're celebrating it now.
Almost. Yeah.
It is
Well,
it
yeah.
is
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
my
Let's
birthday parties seem to change over the years because tomorrow is going to be a really, really modest birthday party. Just a couple of brothers that I still have, two of them. And then the rest is already passed away. So it's going to be the three of us now for the first time.
I love that. What do you have
Yeah.
planned?
And just hanging out at my place. Maybe if we're lucky with the weather, we're gonna sit on the back porch and have a coffee and an apple pie and just some drinks and just hang out and yeah, being very relaxed. And opposed to the parties that I used to throw back in the
Oh God,
day.
like your
Oh my
50th?
God. Sure. Oh yeah, for instance. That was huge.
I
That
have
was
on
huge.
one of our trailers,
Yeah.
there's a photo of me sitting
Yeah.
on a stack of beer crates, and then next to me is a stack that disappears out of the photo. That was all from one night, ladies and gentlemen. If you
Oh
ever
my
see
God.
that
Yeah.
trailer and you see that photo, that was from
Yeah.
one night.
That was hey baby, take a walk on the wild side. Yeah.
Boy,
There
holy cow.
was
Yeah,
that was awesome.
there's
Yeah.
photos. That was a great party.
Yeah.
It was a
I
great
used to
party.
make we tried to make an art form out of it, throwing the biggest party ever.
Well,
And
and the
yeah, I used to go through the neighborhood up front before the party. During the afternoon, I went around the whole neighborhood, everywhere it came to the front door, and I said, "Okay, if you hear anything, it's me. I'm having a party." Oh my God! And then we went crazy, like completely wild through
But
the
you
night.
know that
Awesome.
that courtesy piece is something that I've done
Yeah.
as well. I go to the neighbor and say, "Listen, there's probably going to be some cars, there's going to be some traffic, there may be some loud music. You know, if there is, it's
Right.
us. And not only that, you
Yeah.
should stop by if you're home. Please come visit." And
Right.
I've had neighbors come by, you know, it's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have food, we're gonna have drinks, alcoholic, non-alcoholic.
Right.
Don't not
Yeah.
stop by.
Right.
You're invited. I'm personally inviting you."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that level of courtesy, I think, is really important. That especially
Hmm.
if you want to be a good neighbor. But I think also you
Right.
mentioned that it's going to be you and your brothers. And we're at a place where that brings a completely different level of value. You can sit around, you
Yep.
can talk or not talk, you can take in the environment, the weather. You can
Mm,
appreciate the fact that you're all still in the same space, and
mm.
how important those people are to
Yeah.
you and you are to
Yeah.
them. I think all of that, you know, we talked last episode about, you know, we should talk about astronomy and space and things like that. And when you talk about
Yeah, we do.
how
Yeah.
insignificant you are when you see the scale and scope of the entire planet through a porthole
Yeah, the
window when you're
vastness. Yeah,
floating in
it's
that
crazy.
vastness of space. I
Yeah.
think for me,
Yeah.
you know, I'd made the comment that, well, I lost a lot of weight last year in the way of people who I thought were my friends that had been a part of my life for a very long
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
instead of playing the whole, you know, forgive and forget and, you know, allowing them back into my life, I realized what's more important is that maybe I wasn't as important to them to begin with. And what I have to do is make sure that people I am important to know how important they
Yeah.
are to me. And that that's where we should focus. And that has something to
Yeah,
do with the fact you're celebrating a birthday with your brothers. It's not going to
yeah.
be a big galactic bash. You know, you're not going to wake up with your,
Not this time, no.
yeah, you're not going to wake up with your
I
underwear
can't,
around your head.
yeah. I can't guarantee though that I'm not going to do it in the future, but for now,
Right.
it's
Right.
yeah, it's what I like to do right now.
Yep.
Because my second brother in the bash, I'm the youngest, obviously, and the one who came right before me, he passed away a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And so the one after that's still alive, and the one after that's still alive, and the oldest one has also passed away. So I think it's a little bit, it's a time for a little bit more taking it easy because one of the older brothers, he fell and he broke his hip and he's deteriorating mentally. And so maybe it's time to pay him a little bit of respect and keep it kind of easy and a little bit more toned down. What's in the name?
No, I
Yeah, so
agree. I
he
agree.
so yeah, so it's a little bit more family time instead of party and go like, wow. Yeah, so I kind of decided that and I wanted to as well because sometimes you have to take a step back and celebrate things in a more moderate or toned down way because yeah, well, just sometimes you feel how you have to do it. And this is one of those moments. They're getting older. I'm getting older. Obviously, they're much older than me because they're all much because I'm the last one in the family. So they're all significantly older, like 14 to um, what is it? Wow. Yeah, yeah, something like that. I don't know. 18, 14, or 18 years old,
That's
both of them.
amazing.
So older, yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
yeah. My
can't.
father was a World War II. It was in the World War. He was in Germany. When he was imprisoned by the Germans.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's a completely different story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
that's a
yeah.
topic. That's a topic for sure. And I think what I
Oh, I
was,
had this really interesting story. Help me remind because I had heard this really interesting story about my father just a couple of months ago.
oh,
Because my
share
brother
it.
told me because I never knew.
Share
Yeah,
it.
well, maybe I have to. Yeah, we can make it a
No, no, no,
topic.
share it. You can share it now. Here's the
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
thing. We're two friends talking. If we don't
Yeah,
peel back
yeah,
all the
that's fine.
layers in
That's
this
fine.
episode, there's the next one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
well,
we have to readdress it. That's for sure. Because
yeah.
my father was imprisoned by the Germans in the World War II, and he apparently I didn't know. I did know he was imprisoned in Germany. It was in Stuttgart. I know that, and but. I never knew a lot of details about that whole time. I knew he came back and he was ill, sick. He had a couple of inflictions. I don't know exactly what he had, but it wasn't really good at all. So anyway, when he came back, it was his uh, his teeth were all gone and he was really sick. I still don't know what it was, but the really interesting thing is that the camp commander where he was imprisoned, he took him home. He took my father home because he was really sick, and he stayed over in his house. Can you imagine
Wow.
that?
Wow.
That's amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice story. So anyway, but I'm going to get some more information because I don't know everything yet.
You
But
should. You should.
yeah, I
And
like
my
that. Yeah.
my recommendation also, I don't know if it's something you thought about doing. Consider when you all sit down tomorrow for your birthday and you start talking,
Yeah,
consider
yeah,
recording the conversations
yeah, I can. Yeah, maybe. Why not?
because for two
Uh,
for two reasons, especially
mm,
when this comes up, there are going to be details you'll forget or just miss or you won't catch the first
right,
time. The second
right.
thing is you'll have now
Mm.
for posterity, those
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something to
I
think
think I
about,
might
that's
do
all.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, really interesting. So I want to get some more information about the whole thing, and maybe we can readdress it sometimes. Yeah. It was really interesting. I never knew that. Can you imagine that?
I
Being
cannot,
65 years old,
I,
and
I,
then all of a sudden you can you hear something about, oh my God, that's crazy.
how,
Yeah.
how,
Anyway,
how old was your father when he went to war?
whoa, that's really interesting. Are you good at math? Because
Uh,
we can find it out, but I
yeah,
don't know. Because
sure.
when he died when he was 65, same age as
Okay.
me, by the way. That's pretty.
Yeah. And how, and what year was that?
Anyway, that was in 97, 79, nay, 97, nay, 79. Sorry,
79. He was
79. He
65
passed
and
away already.
79.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
65 and
And I
79
was
and
20
you
years
were
old.
20, right?
I was 20. Right. So
Oh my
when he
gosh.
was when he was
He
60,
was 45 when he had you.
65. Right. So if you
Well,
then you count back to
I
the
was
Second
50 when
World
we had
War.
Addison. Okay. So
Yeah. Yeah.
79, he was 65, 79, 69, 59,
65.
49. So he, wow.
Yeah, he was a young guy. He was in his 20s, right?
Well,
When he was in
no.
Germany.
No, he was
He wasn't?
65 and 79. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Nathan is sept- Okay,
So
so
let's say 80,
okay, we'll do 80, right? 70, 60,
40, yeah,
50.
like 25 years old, something,
Yeah.
24, something like that. Yeah. So he was,
49,
that was his age when his,
59,
yeah,
59, 49. So that's 30,
it should be
39,
correct about that.
49, 39. So that's 30, 39 is 40, which would put him at 25. So he was probably
Right.
27 or 28. He was probably older than many of his mates because
Could be, yeah.
The Dutch didn't go to
Yeah.
war right away with Germany.
Well, pretty soon after, yeah,
Yeah,
it was one of the
yeah.
first country they invaded,
Yep, yep.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
it still blows my mind that my father was part of World War II in that way. It's really strange because it's a pretty significant landmark in the world's history.
it really
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's impressive it's impressive that he was a prisoner of war, and then he
Yeah.
survived it, and he survived it to live
Yeah.
what 35, almost 35 years. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What, wow.
Well, it roughed him up pretty bad. That's for sure. But he
Well,
came back. He was in really bad shape. Yeah.
yeah,
So, but
I
the camp commander, he probably saved his life. That's something that's pretty obvious right now. So, hey, he got really sick, and then he took him in. That's really amazing.
that is
Like,
incredible.
yeah, because we still think of the Nazis all that they're all really bad people, but of course it's not because it's an ideology,
Well, right,
right?
right. And
Yeah.
we know
So,
well,
yeah.
within those ranks there were people who
Mm,
um there were people
mm,
who recognized either I joined the party or my family and myself we die. So you didn't
yeah.
really you didn't have an option. When the
Yeah.
Nazi party came calling, it's kind of like, the Inquisition in Spain,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Holy Inquisition, and you had Jews who became what was called conversos. They they converted in name only because that was much better
Right.
than
It's gonna
the
save their
alternative,
lives.
which was
Yeah.
death. But they, they still
Exactly.
practiced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also something that happened in the in Spain and in the south of France, with when the Muslims came in and they conquered the whole Iberian Peninsula, Spain,
Yeah.
Portugal,
Yep.
south of France. A lot of people who went like, yeah, yeah, we'll be Muslim, that's fine,
Yep.
because it saved your life. Yeah, that's the same thing probably in Nazi Germany. Yeah, if you didn't play along, you were gonna die.
No, of course not. Of
Yeah.
course.
So anyway,
You didn't
yeah,
have you didn't have a choice. You didn't have a
right.
choice. And honestly, the the people who were converting, they didn't care. They just didn't want you to fight. They otherwise they had to kill you. And it's kind of
Hmm.
it's kind of fascinating when you think about this. Alexander the Great, with all of his conquests, pretty much they were they were bloodless. He would send these away teams, he would send these individuals ahead who would arrive into a village, into a town, and they would say, "Hey, listen, Alexander is coming and this is what he wants." And all he wanted was a certain percentage of the village's men of fighting age to join his army. Otherwise, he
Mm,
said, you can continue practicing your religions, you can manage politics, everything will remain the same. We're not changing anything, just letting you know. And in fact,
mm,
there were many towns who said, "Hey, we're better under the protection of Alexander than we were before." And the only exception was the village, the village of Tyre, Tyre, and they were about a quarter mile off the coast. And they said, "Piss off! We're not sending you any people, and we're not joining." And
mm,
Alexander had his men construct a bridge out of natural material. And when they got over there, they destroyed the city. They took the women and children as slaves and sold them. They killed every man. And
mm,
the geographic footprint never changed. They actually physically changed the geographic footprint of that part of the Middle East. And you can still see it to this day when you look. There's now this land bridge that leads to what was at one point an island city. So yeah, all of that was to
really?
say,
I didn't know.
I think people just,
Well, Alexander the Great is one of those people in history that they go like, who is that again?
yeah,
I know a lot, but Alexander the Great, for some strange reason, always goes into this blurry part of my brain to go like, who is it anyway? I don't know. Who was Alexander the Great anyway? Who was it?
he
Who was
was
this guy?
he was a
Where did he come? Where did he come from? Was
um
he
he was
European or
Greek.
Asian
No, he's
or
Greek.
Greek? Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Mm,
He was the son of a very well known warrior, I think Philip of Macedonia. So he was
interesting.
technically Macedonian, right? And
Mm,
he he was a very smart uh, tactician and strategist. And one of the
right.
reasons why was because he had this advisory council who also had the best and brightest, and they were really smart
Mm,
about how they moved and spread. Um, not at all. He was not known as a a violent individual, like a conqueror who showed up and ravaged
right.
and pillaged. He basically said,
Mm-hmm.
"We need people to fight," and the villages would say, "Okay."
Mm,
And some of these campaigns would last for years. So that's the big thing
mm,
that would suck. If you were a
mm,
father or son of a certain age and you were recruited to fight for
mm,
Alexander and his army, you might not ever see your family again, or not for a half dozen years.
right. So, what was the goal of his conquests, or what what was it about?
He was interested in unification. Let me see if I can find a better description of what I'm trying to say. Oh, we're all watching a storm right now. That's kind of fun. Um,
So he came from the Greek area,
former king,
Macedonia.
king of Macedonia. Yeah, Macedonia. Um, he
So he wanted to spread his religion or his point of
no,
view.
his military campaign was more, and he he was a stoic. He was very smart. He was tutored up until 16 or 17 by Aristotle. So, and we know who
Okay,
Aristotle is.
yeah,
Um,
the Greek
but
philosopher.
he was let's see here. I think he was looking to, of course, I didn't hang out with him, so I can't confirm it, but he was looking
Uh,
to create a sense of
mm,
order, because and it was something his father was also focused on, because you had all these city states within Greece and
mm,
other parts of the world, Asia, Asia Minor,
yeah, of
that were all
course,
fighting
yeah, of
amongst themselves. And his
course,
focus
yeah.
was on unifying this and saying, hey, look, we have more that's in common than we do that's not in common.
Mm,
So let's all work together. He focused
right,
on building lanes of trade so that various city states could
mm,
trade the things they had with others.
right.
And it
The Silk Route,
shows,
maybe.
yeah, it shows when he died, almost immediately the vacuum that was felt and the fighting that started again.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah. So when was that? What time frame
oh,
are we talking about
sorry
here?
about that. Fourth, fourth or third century. You hear me
Fourth
all
or
right?
third
I
or fourth?
just
Okay, yeah, I
yeah.
do.
Okay, hang
Yeah,
on.
okay.
Yeah, the fourth century.
Right.
I'll tell you. I can tell you exactly. Hang on, stand by. Um, 356 BC to 323 BC. So
Okay. So
he was very young, and if you do the math, you can see
mm,
that he died at 33. So he
sure,
started very young. He
yeah.
had
So
he was
so that
basically considered he's still considered one of the most famous military strategists in all of history and warfare. And a big reason for that is
right,
because,
that I do know, yeah.
yeah, he wasn't interested in a might makes right. He wasn't interested in strong arming cities and city
Mm,
states into following him. He said,
mm,
you worship what you worship. This is what we
yeah.
want to do. His focus was more on unification, and that was a
uh,
principal element of his campaigns.
So that was before the Muslim conquest then,
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
guess.
yes, by
Yeah,
hundreds
because
and hundreds of
that's
years. It was
yeah. So
it
because
was
that was
before
in
Jesus by
700,
hundreds and hundreds of years.
really.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. So it was before Christ, this whole thing. Okay,
Oh,
really?
way before.
I th
Yep.
okay.
And
I thought it was after. Anyway.
I love that, his tutor up until he was 16 was Aristotle. So
Yeah.
just imagine, what you get to learn hanging out with that man.
Yeah, well, he probably didn't have the same reference in regard to that guy as we do, because
No.
for him it was a completely different perception.
Well, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it would be like being Walt Disney's daughter, right? Or or
Yeah.
you know, being
Yeah.
who's the F1 racer, Verstappen? You know, being his brother or something. It's like a
Yeah.
completely different relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, because for instance, Rembrandt was not held in high
Yeah.
regards after his death. Yeah,
Yeah, or
yeah,
neither for Gauguin or Van Gogh. Yeah, all
yeah,
of them.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So what I mean is that they were not important back then, but now
right,
they are in
right.
hindsight. Yeah,
Yeah,
in retrospect. Yeah, exactly.
true.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yes, 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 yes. And all the yeah. So yeah, people have been fighting for the longest time about bullshit reasons, and yeah, that's how we came to the whole conversation, the whole thing that we have this little planet, the little planet that we're living on, and we only have one planet, and everybody's
well, it's
arguing and making war, and
right.
you know,
And
nuts.
what's the war over? In most almost every case, the war is over ideology, right? It's over a religious belief or a
Religion.
political
Yeah,
belief or a political belief that's
yeah,
actually religious in nature.
yeah, yeah.
I think that's fascinating.
It is. Yeah. And it's also so many things go through my mind right now. Yeah, it's also what's going on right now with the whole situation in the Middle East. It's pretty
Yeah.
worrying. I really am. It's worrying because it's also this ideology of that the whole world has to be subjugated to this whole Islam thing. Because yeah, when the Israel's gone, we're up next, and America's going to be first. It's going to be a really bad situation. So
Yeah.
no, people don't realize it's really bad.
Well, and
Yeah, we'll see.
I think it, you know, and boy, this is another topic too. It's the fact that
Mm.
we are assaulted by we're assaulted by things on here, right? We're assaulted
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
the things that we discover when we scroll through here,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's all terrifying to me because in many cases it's all distraction from what's really happening.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the United States is a vast, wonderful country with tremendous opportunity. It's also
Yeah, it
it's
is.
also a land filled with bullies and individuals who believe they have the right to do whatever it is they must do to accomplish their goals. And in every case in which I refer, that has to do with the most
Mm.
religious among them.
Right. There's also this really strange thing is happening right now in the States, and is that as I look on it as an outsider, as a foreigner, because obviously I'm not American, but the
Yeah,
thing
but
is that you have this, you have the,
don't discount your own perspective, because I've often told other people you know more about American politics and culture than most Americans.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's what I see. Here's what I look at it. You have on the one side you have the Republican narcissistic idiot who is willing to protect Israel, and you have the Democrats who are not really willing to protect Israel when it comes down to it. They go like, yeah, well, you need two-state solution, stuff like that. That's not what that's not what the Arabs want. The Arabs want the whole thing.
Right.
And for some strange reason, the liberals are always going on about, yeah, well, we have to make peace with these people. Well, we don't. So there's this devilish choice that the Americans have to make. They have to go with the idiot that is willing to protect society because he or the group of people around him see what's happening, and the liberals, they don't see it. At least that's what I'm seeing, that they don't see it. They are not behind Israel, who's fighting for the civilized world.
Right.
That's what I see, and that's really it's a really bad situation as far as I'm concerned.
I think I agree, and I think it's
Mm,
something that I think it's something that we should
mm,
explore, and I know we can do it civilly in an
mm,
episode. I'd like to do that, and just
yeah,
to remind you that we still have to talk about this in more detail. I figured you might
yeah,
appreciate this original Newsweek magazine.
cool. That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
It's this Ted Louis Armstrong.
It's no, he's the musician. This is Neil Armstrong.
Neil, duh.
Although Neil might have played a musical instrument, I don't. Yeah, Apollo 11 Commander Neil
Nee, 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 nee.
Armstrong,
Neil Armstrong. Louis Armstrong. You're
July
me.
21st,
Oh my God.
1969.
Right. Awesome.
Uh,
Very cool.
all right. We have done
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna get another
We
one.
we have just we've just managed to navigate another episode where we talked about everything. That's hysterical. Boy, there were no
We
rails to
s-
be had.
yeah,
We
started with
immediately out of
birthdays.
the chute went. It was great.
Yeah, went out from birthdays to the American politics.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. Anyway, been great talking to you again,
You too,
Ron.
my handsome friend. And for everyone else
Okay.
out there, remember to share with your friends. Click like and
Yeah.
subscribe because let's be honest, you never know what you're going to get. It's, life and our podcast is like a box of chocolates, just like Forrest Gump
You
said,
never
because you
know what you're
never
gonna
know what you're
get.
going to get.
Right.
Everybody have a beautiful day out
Anyway,
there. Have a beautiful evening, whatever time it is. And we're thrilled that you stopped by and thought, gosh, I got to listen to what these lunatics have to say.
yeah, leave comments, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Let
And
us know
you
what
know
you're
what?
thinking, and if you have any suggestions or you're not agreeing with anything we say or
Please let
whatever,
us know.
let us know. Yeah, that would
We're
be
all
cool.
ears. We're all ears and we're all
Yeah,
up for learning.
yes, we are.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will talk to you later.
Bye bye. Bye
Later.
bye. Later, alligator.